Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I'm out of work for the week. How freaking excited am I? Yep, Karen's out in the wild. I gotta take the bus home today. That's okay, because then I get to, I get to look at humanity. And most of the time I feel better about myself after taking the bus. If you know, you know. And what's even better is I get to work from home next week. So that means no testing and no going out into the wild at 6:30 in the morning to catch a damn bus. Because we can talk about this big ass snowstorm that's supposed to dump on New York, I guess over 300,000 people or something. Way bigger than they think it's gonna be. But then again, those weather people, they get paid the same whether they hit the forecast or miss the forecast. They still get paid the big bucks, right? So do they really give a shit if they predict this weather correctly? Do they though? Asking for a friend, maybe somebody can tell me. So while we're waiting for this bus, I'll go over a few headlines. They might be a couple days old, but it'll only be a couple minutes because I can see this bus already. It's a good day. Guess what? MLK, Martin Luther King's niece, he says that Biden's playing the race card on this voting rights thing. You think? Denver elementary schools, it will continue to teach BLM principles to elementary schools. Okay, so the organization BLM principles, or like Black Lives Actually Do Matter principles? Like, what are we doing here? Here's the bus, gotta go, be back. Meanwhile, in Michigan, Ethan Crumbly is looking to see if he can use the insanity defense. A psychological evaluation pending. So we have school shooter from Michigan who shot and killed four. Shot more, but killed four in that school shooting. Anyway, the one where the parents bought him his gun for Christmas, they're in jail too. Yeah. I believe he was insane. And I believe his parents are culpable because they didn't do anything about it. Like, get the poor kid help. Anyway, he faces like 24 charges, including first-degree murder. So there's that. The parents in the high school are being sued civilly by the families of the deceased, because they knew he was having problems. The school knew he was having problems, and nobody took steps to stop this. Some negligence going on. Let's see how this plays itself out. I was sick, but I certainly wasn't blind. Did you guys see the stock market plummet more than like 1,100 points in one day? Did you see that? Yeah, I saw it too. Circle back, Saki, that has nothing to do with the economy. Or the trust in the potato and sheep, according to Circle Back Saki. Wait, what is it that I'm reading here? What is it? Let me get that close. A new book by Peter Schweitzer claims the Biden family earned $31 million from 5 deals involving people with direct ties to Chinese intelligence. More on that to come. My 3 minutes is up. Okay. I kind of left you hanging on that last one, didn't I? Let me finish reading what I was reading here. I'll start over for those of you that didn't read the first part of the cast. Book. Biden's reaped $31 million in Chinese communist business dealings. So this book that's being written by a guy named Peter Schweitzer claims the Biden family earned $31 million from 5 deals involving people with direct ties to Chinese intelligence. Hunter Biden, son of President Joe Biden, partnered with financiers with direct ties to the spy network. Okay. So I looked into it a little bit, and apparently Hunter, remember that laptop that got confiscated? Nobody's talking about it anymore, right? Of Hunter's. And remember those emails on that laptop of Hunter's that nobody's talking about anymore, right? Yeah, those ones. So apparently that laptop that was seemingly forgotten had some stuff in it, according to Peter, that they performed no legitimate business activity to get this. I guess there were 5 deals totaling $31 million. And these deals weren't made with like Qingyan from down the street at the Chinese restaurant. They were actually made from like the highest of the Chinese intelligence. The head of the number 8 bureau. Those emails and deals that Biden apparently didn't know about. $31 million worth of deals that Biden didn't know about. But he lives real well, right? Like over his means. Or what his means should be. But we're not popping into his tax returns, right? We're not asking for any of his tax returns and asking him to make sure he reported all. Oh, okay. We're not going to worry about all the bills that Hunter was paying for Biden, phone bills and bills of upgrades to homes and such that were paid, but of Joe's that were paid by Hunter. Why was that, do you think? It's really interesting that there's been no investigations into this. It must be because all the people, the CIA, FBI, Congress, they're all led by Democrats. And so we're just continuing to look into an ex-president, and we want to continue that. But the president of the United States right now, we don't want to look into any of this. Oh, okay. Just asking for a friend. Okay. Another thing I'm finding interesting today is the Supreme Court is to hear a challenge to race in college admissions. So here's what's going on. Apparently some of the more affluent universities are, affirmative action. Yeah, that's what it's called. So apparently American students, it's now being seen that they are getting discriminated against, of all races, because these affirmative action rules. So along with abortion, COVID, mandates, guns, religion, they also have to take up race in your college admissions. Affirmative action should have never been a thing to begin with. It doesn't help minorities. It actually harms minorities. Hence the dropout rate when they get into schools that they cannot compete in because they're not ready. But they got in there because of the color of their skin, not the content of their character or the brain. This is why that stuff never worked to begin with. Who brought affirmative action into the plan? I'm gonna guess it was Democrats, but we're gonna go ahead and look into that a little bit before I make, a determination. Anyway, I found that very, very interesting. And the president's favorability fell into the basement, but we already knew that, right? And that's in the news every single week. The WHO said it's dangerous to predict that this is near its end. And they say there's plenty of new variants on the horizon. No worries. I guess word of all Boris Johnson's big parties got out because now he's being investigated for them. And over 100 GOP lawmakers and party activists in Texas are asking the state's highest criminal court to reconsider a decision that took away the Attorney General's power to prosecute election fraud. If there's election fraud, why are we not able to prosecute it and investigate it? I don't understand that. Doesn't pass the sniff test to me. But do you know what's really not hitting mainstream media in the United States? This. I mean, they can't even go freely to shop and eat around there. But 80% of them are vaccinated. And they're just done with the tyranny. Will you look at this beautiful thing? This is the convoy. Canada, U.S. border. It is amazing thing. But of course Trudeau's downplaying it, saying it's a small group with wrong views. This is not small and they're not wrong. I can't stand that little man.
I've noticed that this account's growing pretty fast since I've made it public again. I want to thank you for that. I appreciate it. But it has come to my attention that my views may not be popular with the Alphabet Mafia, LGBTQRL, LMNOP group, Alphabet Soup, if you will. I'm here to let you know that if I have not yet offended you, please give me time. I'll get to each and every one of you, I promise.
I've seen some shit in the last couple days that quite honestly makes my stomach curl and makes me want to hurl. As a creator, I understand the need to disassociate my feels from the comments on my page or the shots being taken at me. I don't entertain it. If I think there's actually a person on the other end, I take the time to try to get through to that person. I understand that that person is committed to misunderstanding me and my take and my views, then they can fuck right the fuck off too, because I'm not here for that. I don't have the time or the energy to feed any narcissistic views or narcissistic projections coming my way. I don't have the time or the need for that. Some of these comments I'm coming across are just downright detrimental to a person's core well-being. I mean, I don't understand how somebody can spew that. I can't. And I do my best to point out the bullshit and hypocrisy without getting bogged down in the bullshit, if you know what I mean. It never ceases to amaze me how people can fix their lips to allow such vile garbage to be expelled out of their pie holes. I understand the creators that have to take a break, or the people that even scroll through the app and don't create have to take a break. from the madness. The internet's taken this bully mentality and jacked it up on steroids. And these people wouldn't say boo if they were right in front of your face. I take my breaks just when I don't post for that day, or I post something that doesn't show my face. That's me taking a break. I have to. The negativity that I report every single day, it can weigh you down if you do that all the time. Sometimes I don't understand how these media people do it. And the fact that they have to spin it in a certain way is incredibly ridiculous. It's something that I couldn't even comprehend doing as far as that's concerned. We also have to remember that a lot of these people are paid by the app to be here. Because the app makes money on the interactions. And the more arguing there is, the more interactions there are. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. They want that type of behavior because they want it to create the type of ramp up that it does create. It's sick and it's twisted, but that's what society is these days. Sick and goddamn twisted. Not everybody is like me, can just tell them to go get fucked. Some people actually internalize that shit. Mental health is very, very important. Don't let people push you around on this app. There are bullies everywhere. And social media has created even bigger bullies when they're probably this big in reality. Behind a keyboard, shooting off their mouth to the screen, acting all big, but in reality, they wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. And again, I have to say with a growing account, I haven't had to deal with many of these troll-ass haters lately. I have highlighted a couple of other people's comments of troll-ass haters that I think have gotten way out of control, gotten way too comfortable behind their keyboards. Well, doesn't sit well with me at all. Moral of the story, don't pay attention to the skin sack, trash mouth, bullshit trolls that comment on your stuff. Separate yourself from those comments. Because if they are real people, they're either being paid by the app or their lives are so miserable that they're stuck in a little room behind a keyboard and a monitor, and they're trying to bully people who actually have lives. It's a sad, sad existence, isn't it? Be good to each other. Because if you're not, who's going to be?